the game, and in the last few games, the conversation around Land has kind of elevated to not just first team all defense, DPOI, just how has she just continued to keep elevating to the point where we just saw defensive masterclass from her on Sunday afternoon.
I just think she's just maybe just a little more experienced. Year two of kind of doing what she does, and just I think some of it too is she did a lot of this last year, right? And so I think now having a team that was last year became a contender, wasn't thought to be a contender, people weren't really paying attention. I think there's more attention being paid to Land. So things that we have known that other people are starting to, really understand. You see the stats. Shot blocking is something our team does, but all we ever hear about is how small we are. But we lead the league in shot blocks. So, Fee, obviously Fee and Lan. Lan has just been special in her shot blocking, deflections. Again, all the spaces that Fee lives in as well. So to have your two bigs that aren't highly thought of in the space of being big enough, I'm impressed by.
When Masha had a great game as well, and length is kind of one of those media buzzwords when we talk about defense, but there's having length and then there's using it effectively. How
absolutely.
have both in Masha and Lan's case,
it's what they do.
Grown to be even more effective in using their length.
Yeah, and I think Lan, like we've talked about, is more of a volleyball shot blocker, kind of timing and position. Mosh is definitely a timing player, but she kind of, she hunts it down in a traditional way of shot blocking and swatted away. And she's, we've seen that from the first day that she was here, that she had a real confidence in guards turning the corner, try to turn the corner on her, or bigs. You could see her really visibly timing up when she's going to, get ready to, to swat it away. So it's been a nice addition. So that post group's been special. Yep.
Going back to Alana Smith, kind of on the offensive end more so, the last two games, she had 25 points, one shy of her career high, shooting lights out. Last game, she had the career high 7 assists. Mm-hmm. Just what have you seen from her on that side of the floor, making plays, shooting the basket, and kind of filling in that hole that Nafisa Collier has since opening?
I think the thing that makes Lan so good, and it obviously is a part of the identity of the team. Well, the identity of our team is what it is because of Lan, because of Fee, in that they're just really good basketball players. Whatever the play calls for them to do, they'll do. Fee, we've asked to maybe, be not so selfless all the time. That's the job of the franchise player, is to take more shots. Lan, one game, if you're leaving her open and she's hitting threes, she's going to take the threes. The next game, if you're taking it away and somebody else is open, she's going to throw 7 assists. That's the beauty of Lan. And she doesn't walk out of the game going, I didn't get my shots. She's just making the right basketball play. And that's what our team does. And that's why our starting group in particular is such a great group together, is they truly don't care whose night it is. Maybe it's BC. Maybe it's Courtney. Maybe Lan's just setting great screens for Courtney and rolling. So Lan will do whatever the basketball play calls for. She doesn't impose herself on the game and choose things that aren't available to her. So she's got really high basketball IQ.
Kind of related to Lan and Jess and Fee, what in your opinion makes a great screener?
Timing and angle.
Is that related to IQ and just knowing how the exact position they have to be in? It just feels like they are all great.
It's intentional. You have to be intentional. So it's not necessarily IQ, it's understanding that if I don't set a great screen, and some people think great screen is when you walk up and you pop somebody and they say, it's a great screen. Great screen to us, that's not what it means. It means that we advantaged our offense. And if we can't advantage the offense, it was a bad screen. And we are all in our group about that. Anybody that's around me knows that if we can't play in a pick and roll with advantage, then it started with the screen. If it was not the screen, if the guard didn't set up, those are the two places you go to of why we didn't get the advantage that we were after. So I just think it's being intentional and understanding that we value that.
Do you think that they are elevated when it comes, not even just across the league, but just from what you've seen too, in terms of like getting the job done. We know how great Courtney is at maneuvering through those.
Yeah.
But, like, would you say this group like just really gets it?
They do. They get it. Lan has a special way about her screening and getting out quick. I mean, her timing of an angle and getting out quick and creating an option to hit the roll. I think Lan just really enjoys that, and we enjoy that she's. It's sort of a lost part of our game, what we call. So there's pick and roll ball handler and there's pick and roll man. So the one who rolled. That is so low on everybody's play types. We were pretty high at it last year, and now that's gone down because defenses are choosing not to guard the guard. They're choosing to stay back and not give up the easy roller. Watch coaches go crazy when we get the pick and roll man. You didn't play it well. And so you don't want to give us those easy baskets. I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, you don't often have a practice that's like right before games. So I was like, I wanted to have a random.
Sure.
One time
Yeah. I appreciate random.
You know, you mentioned that like the league is shifting to guarding the roller more. I mean, you have Courtney, who is statistically the best mid-range shooter in the game right now. I mean, what kind of bind does that put an opposing team? I mean, you being a defensive-minded coach,
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck do you do when Land's rolling that well and then Courtney's going to shoot it if they go under?
Yeah. Well, then you have your plan B, which we have some opponents that do have a solid mid-range game, and you go to your plan B. Now, everybody being in the space, it's the most inefficient shot most guards are going to shoot. You said there are a few guards that are good at it. We happen to have one. If someone's causing you to go to plan B, right, what that looks like is to get them off their spot. You're typically probably bringing two to the player. How you bring two and what happens behind that is the key, right? So you can't bring two and then not bring, your help side to the roller. So somebody else would have the roller, and that's what we would scheme.
And then the Lynx have corner shooters, three-point shooters,
Yeah.
ball movement,
Yeah.
cutting. I mean, you guys are
It's
the
a
number
predicament.
one offense in the league.
It's a predicament. It's a predicament. Yeah. And we've seen all coverage. We've seen switching, right, to try,
Yeah.
but I think we're the top team in the league versus switch. So it's a predicament. But and ultimately you just make a choice. What are you willing to live with? And that's what you got to do.
K-Mac was just kind of up here saying, this is the most fun she's had playing basketball the last year and a half. Obviously, winning is
Yeah.
fun, but I wonder from the coaching staff perspective, like, how much fun is this team to coach?
They're easy to coach. They're fun to coach. They're people. They're people before players. The quality of individuals that we have and their connection is really fun to be around. It's authentic. We're not without faults, for sure, but I think that goes onto the court, and that is fun to be around. And they naturally do it. They need very little of our sort of kind of pushing them towards something. Mac was here last year, so she mentioned a year and a half, so she had fun last year, but this was more fun. I think the more fun, is because they feel this connected way about them. They're on a mission to reach something that they desperately want. I think that's fun. And they've been in the trenches together longer, right? And so the depth of the relationships, has grown. I think that's probably where it all comes from.
Not that this was ever a team that just kind of watched Fee go to work and kind of just
Yeah.
her to bail things out, but do you feel like there's anyone in particular whose confidence is really kind of showing through, maybe in her absence, where it's just like, hey, we got to step up, and that's who's stepping in?
Yeah, I think we've seen it where Jess was playing well off the bench, so I think she's just, helped us immensely through Fee's timeout. I think the beauty of it is it's like, one night it was Lan. One night, that's if you go back and you look at the games that Fee hasn't played, it's somebody different. It's not this one person goes, okay, it's not Fee now it's this player. Now the person we put the most pressure on is Courtney. You can't have Courtney in this mode of, and we're on her about this, you can't be in this mode of, yeah, if I get a shot, I get a shot. No, you have to work, right? So now you have to score more. who's got the ability to do more? Well, Courtney's definitely one. So the two remaining of your big three get a little more pressure on them. But we've gotten through it because of the Jess Shepherds and the Bridget Carlton. Obviously, in these 3 games, having Dejanay, T. I think T is really playing well. So I just like that our strength is our collective. This is not about, hey, one player every night is giving us something that Fee was giving us. It's our collective. Even when we have Fee, it's our collective.
The subject of fun, Cameron Taylor has been a fun part of each of the past 2
Yeah.
camps. Just caught up with her for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
She's clearly having fun being back here. Have you felt like this, like the energy of having her back in the building,
Yeah,
and what's it like to have
Cam's
her?
great. The advantage, to Cam is that she's been here, right? You mentioned a couple times. And, a player like that being home, getting ready to go overseas and, getting a call from us. I mean, the joy. So when I tell you I called her, we shot around on, was it Friday? And we became concerned about losing another post player that night. And I called, went right to voicemail, and I went, hope she's not flying over to Europe already. Messaged the agent and said, might Cam be available for the game tonight? And a quick response is like, so he must have got a hold of her, so I called her back, and this time she answered. So I think she was on Do Not Disturb. And I was
She
like,
said she was napping.
was she napping? I hated to wake her. Yeah, okay. But she was on a plane 3 hours later and arrived 5:15, landed in MSP. We played at 6:30.
Right.
So we were doing our pregame, and then she came in the locker room, put her jersey on. The excitement in her voice when I called, and it was like, I don't care where she was going to make it. She was going to figure out a way. So I think for the young player like that has some qualities that we enjoy, just to kind of get back around the group for however long it ended up being, it's good for her and her career, and obviously good for us because Cam is a fit for this group. The players were excited when we said we were bringing Cam back because she brings an energy about what she's doing. So we're excited she's back. Yep.
I was just going to say, I asked pretty much everyone on the team now, but when's a pink hair strand going to happen on Cheryl Reeve? What needs to happen for that to happen?
Championship.
Okay, fair.
There it is. They don't even know that. I've never even told them that. So let them know. Cheryl said,
Do we?
I'll do whatever to my hair.
Do we get a full pink head of hair from Eric as well?
Well, I don't want to commit
Or do
for
I have
him.
to ask him?
I would definitely ask him.